Hello everyone and welcome back to OG Cars, and in today's video you join us with the Fiat Panda Italia 90 again. Now a lot has happened on this car since you last seen it, so in this video we're going to go through what we've done so far, where we're at now and what is about to happen to this car. Well, the fact the car is here with us just off the side of a road, which isn't at home, suggests maybe that it has an MOT. However, that was not without turmoil. There's been a lot to get to this point ultimately, so let's just have a little recap now on all of the things that we've done on this car to get it here. With the welding complete on the Italia, it was just the very small matter of doing a full mechanical restoration on it. So we started off with the engine. I removed everything from the cylinder head and timed up the engine. I then removed the cylinder head and sent it off to our friends at South Wales Pistons. And then it was a matter of removing everything else. So removal of the exhaust, the rear silencer first, and then the manifold and downpipe through the front, and then the brakes, so the front calipers, the pads, the discs, and then onto the suspension. We had the hub carrier, we had the lower arms, we had the springs and the shocks out. It was then onto the gearbox, which did have a very poorly third gear synchromesh. So it was a matter of draining the gearbox, removing all the cables and items attached to the gearbox. And then Sam kindly came over and helped me remove that gearbox. And I got it up to my friend Freddie Harris, who was going to do a full rebuild for me. Sam then helped me remove the rear axle. And as you can see here, compared to the new old stock one that I got off my friend Matt, it's quite poorly. The old one was very rusty. The new one has had new hoses and pipes fitted. It's had new rear bearings fitted to it as well. It was then just a matter of rebuilding those front drive shafts because those gaiters were really quite perished and worn. So I fitted new inner and outer gaiters to those drive shafts. I painted the wheels myself and then sent them off for new tyres as well. And then the gearbox came back from Freddie. It is looking so much cleaner now. It was very dirty. I did give it a very quick clean before I gave it to him, but he's done a full rebuild on it with new bearings, new synchromesh, and it cost a fair bit with a load of parts coming from Italy, but it is so worth it. A new clutch was fitted and I managed to fit the box back in by myself, and then I replaced the rest of the cooling system, so the water pump and the pipe that is associated with it. The cylinder head was returned from South Wales Pistons and is looking mighty fine with new valve stem seals and a fresh skim. So that is fitted with a new head gasket and the head was torqued back down to the engine. A new thermostat was fitted, along with various other items, including the rocker cover, which was repainted as well, just to make that look nice. New timing belt with a new bearing as well. Rebuilt carb, fitted that, repainted the exhaust. This is all just about making it look nice as well as getting it really tidy and really reliable. New radiator fitted now as well. This is a slightly wider 1000 one. This wasn't actually what I planned to purchase, but it's what I purchased and luckily it fits. So we've done that with a new cooling fan. It's one of these slimline ones, which is a little bit less of a draw on the alternator and a bit quieter, but they still work just as well. So really happy with that. We've got a new distributor fitted with the 4x4 coil and electronic, basically pointless ignition system, which is a worthwhile upgrade. The suspension and bearings are put together now. So the bearings with the new hub carriers, we've got the new lower arms, we've got the new shocks, the clean springs. It's all looking really nice with all of this in there now with the painted arches. Honestly, it looks like you could eat your dinner off of the inside of these arches. Big thanks to Joe for helping me refit the suspension at this point, and he also helped me fit the rear axle, including new rear shocks and springs. And big thanks to Sai, who basically gave me these seats. I will give them back to him at some point while my interior is away, with Poppy being retrimmed. This is ideal. I can use these seats to get through the MOT. I've done a full service on the car as well, so new oil, filters, spark plugs, you name it, and the wheels refitted. Now it's time for the test. So that brings us roughly to just before the first MOT, and yeah, there's a clue in there, first MOT. Now let's just say I didn't actually make this one at all, so all of that work that Joe and I put in getting this car ready the night before the MOT, which is also a terrible idea. Just get your cars ready and then book the MOT afterwards. Probably sounds easier. But I was so adamant I could get this car ready for the NEC in March. And you know what? I thought it was all there. I thought it was all together. It was running fine, tuned up, all the suspension's done, everything's back on, great. Morning after, drive towards the MOT centre, and as soon as we're coming out of the village, splutter, cough, dead. Nothing. Nothing at all. Wouldn't restart. Tried a few things, thought it might be a fueling thing, put some more fuel in it just in case the fuel gauge was dead, but unfortunately no joy, and the car had to be towed back by our neighbour who was passing. Big thanks, John, for towing me back that morning. But yeah, ultimately the MOT did not happen that day. Back it comes, and you know what? It just wouldn't run properly again after that. So I didn't really know what it was, but I had put a fuel pump on, which I assumed was good, but it's from the E-Reg 4x4, because I did like obviously a fairly full resto on that. The Auto Delta fuel pump that came off that looked really shiny and new, so I thought it was recent, so I figured I'd stick it on here. Didn't work, whatever, okay. I went to Edna, our 4x4 Sizzly, took the one off that, which was working a couple of years ago. Didn't work. I thought, blimey, I've got an issue somewhere else. But I thought, you know what, stuff it, I'm just going to order a new fuel pump. Couldn't find any in the UK at the time. Big thanks to Mick Rayner for sending me some. I did buy some and they all came back saying out of stock and refunded me. But I bought them from Recambio, and I bought loads from Recambio, so big thanks to them because they've been a real help in this project and I've spent many millions with them. But the new fuel pump worked absolutely fine on this. I did clean out the fuel sender. I have since replaced it because it wasn't working, obviously. I managed to find a brand new old stock one on eBay, so that is now fitted and reading, so I know how much fuel I have. And yeah, obviously I had new hoses and everything anyway, but a new pump on there, blew down the lines, made sure they were all clear, and rebuilt the carb because I had one block. So there's like a little jet in the centre of the, I won't go into it too much, but in the centre of the carb there's a little, you know, you press the throttle and it gives you a bit of a burst of fuel, and that was blocked. So I've changed that as well, and now we're running and went to the second MOT, which then failed as well. So there had to be a third. Ultimately, it only failed on a couple of things, thankfully. So we had a slight split in a gator, annoyingly they were all new as well, and we had a binding near side rear brake. So I said to the MOT guy, book me in for a retest next working day. I went home that evening, fixed it, brought it in, and we got the pass. So we're taxed, insured and legal, and it's here, and it's great. And I want to say a big thanks to everyone who's helped so far with this. I mean, we got Freddie with the gearbox, G for cleaning under the engine bay. It looks amazing under there now. All those bits we've replaced, it's looking really good. Underneath, we've done the welding, we've done under sealing, all the suspension. Big thanks to everyone for helping me fit all those parts and sell me those parts. It is honestly really nice. The interior, big thanks to Simon Dodwell, who's given me a spare couple of seats while the interior is away with Poppy for retrim. That is still away. I've given her loads more time because I couldn't make it to the March NEC. So ultimately the plan for that is now to definitely be back well before Pandino in June. But you might be thinking the exterior is a bit shabby, and you're absolutely right. It is not a looker at the moment, but all should hopefully change because this car today is driving up to Blackpool, and we are going to get this car in for a respray and get all of the stickering done. So this is one of the final moves, obviously, before the interior goes back in as well, but we just want this car to look absolutely amazing. So in the next video, guys, hopefully you're seeing this car in a whole new light and it looks absolutely immaculate. Thanks very much for watching this project so far, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.